Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a review for The History of Western Music by Samuel Andreev on the Peterson Academy. I've already done reviews for 4 of the courses, and like I stated in those reviews, I will be doing reviews for every single course on the Academy when I eventually finish them. I'm currently working on nutrition, so you guys can expect that one next, but I want to talk about today the history of Western music. Now, this is the course that was the most difficult for me. I will talk about the reasons why in a second. And it was the course in which I learned the most about. Now, Jordan Peterson once said that his biggest regret in life was not learning to play the organ when he was 7 years old. It's kind of funny, but I have a similar regret. When I was 9 years old, I had the ability to learn the piano, which I never took up, and I've regretted it ever since. So I'm not a classically trained musician. I don't understand all the technical jargon. I understand it better now, but going into this course, I basically was a clean slate. I didn't really understand music that deeply. I've always listened to classical music. I've been a huge enjoyer of all genres of music. One day I'll show you guys my vinyl collection, and I will link in the description of this video my Spotify playlist, because I've made 95 playlists of the 95 greatest composers of all time, and what I hope is their completed works. Don't quote me on that, but I think I have their completed works for each of their playlists. So I'll link that in the description if you guys want a resource for listening to classical music. If you don't have Spotify, then I'm sorry, but that's what I'm on. But this course, let me read the synopsis first, and then I'll talk about what I thought about the course, how were the quizzes, and I'll talk about the recommended books and a few updates that have come out for the Peterson Academy since I last made a video. So here's the synopsis for the history of Western music. In the history of Western music, an 8-hour course, spread over 9 lectures, I should add, Samuel Andreev embarks on a captivating journey through the history and fundamentals of Western music, from its role as an essential component of human expression towards its evolution in the modern era. We explore the development of Western music notation and theory, delve into the works of iconic composers such as Bach and Beethoven, and trace the dramatic shifts in musical language and form from classical to the Romantic era and beyond. The course concludes by examining the current state of music in the Western world, highlighting the unprecedented opportunities and challenges faced by composers in the rapidly evolving musical landscape of today. So that kind of gives you kind of a general overview of what the course is about. Now, like I said before, this was the course that I learned the most from, largely because the previous courses that I took, I kind of had a background knowledge in those fields. I've already read all the works of Nietzsche. I've read a ton of history. So those courses were a little bit easier for me, whereas this one, even though I've listened to thousands of albums in my life, I didn't really understand the technical jargon of music. Now, I have some complaints about the way Samuel Andreev teaches this course. There's pros and cons to, what exactly he is. He states in the first lecture that he is not an academic, he's not a professor, he's more of an artist, he's more of a composer. So that has pros and cons. Now, some of the cons are he's not the best orator. When he talks, he tends to look down to the side. He looks at the floor, and he talks kind of away from the mic. Even though the mic's right here, nothing's cut off. You can always hear what he's saying, but sometimes you have to rewind and be like, wait, what did you say there? But he doesn't always make eye contact with the audience. Sometimes he's looking down. He's not the most fluent with his words. And I found that he's a bit of a slow talker. So for myself, I had to put it on 1.25 speed for it to feel normal for me. I could even listen to it at 1.5. You can actually go all the way up to ×2 speed. I don't know if I'll be watching any lectures at ×2 speed, but it's really nice that you have that feature. And the other thing is he's kind of blending two things together here that made it a little bit difficult for me to follow. And he was jumping around between the two. So he's talking about the history of music, not just Western music. In the first couple courses or the first couple lectures, he does talk about music from Africa. He talks about music from India. And then he kind of narrows his focus on Europe and Western music. But he's talking about, how the symphony was created and how concert halls expanded and how music was now available to the wider public and not just the elites of society. And you're learning all this amazing musical history, which is awesome. But he's also teaching you technical jargon along the way. And he's not really taking his time to go, this is what this means. This is this description. He's kind of going through it in passing. So a lot of the technical jargon of music was kind of getting lost on me. And I found myself pausing the lectures fairly often in looking things up just to re-clarify what exactly these things mean. What is the distinction between harmony and melody? Like, what's the difference between those things? You know, the common person probably doesn't even really know. They have some sort of loose sense. I had like a loose sense before I actually watched these lectures. Now I have a better sense of it, but that was just one complaint that I had, is he tends to jump around a little bit and pass things over quite quickly. And for the more technical jargon, like I said, you really have to be paying attention. You really have to be taking notes for this course, especially if you're kind of new to that, like I was. If you're more experienced with music, if you're more of a classically trained musician, you kind of understand the notes and the scales and all that, it might be a little bit easier for you to take this course. But for me, I found it a little bit complicated at times just with how Samuel actually taught this course. But the pros are that he's, an artist, he's a composer, and he has an immense love and passion for music. It comes through when he's teaching. And you could tell that he has an immense knowledge for music as well. And that just bleeds through in every single lecture, and it was fantastic. I learned so much about music. I have a deeper connection to music now. I feel like when I listen to classical music, I can pick up patterns more easily now. I understand what's happening. I understand which sections are what. Even with the piano, I can now kind of understand which hand's playing what part. I can almost distinguish right hand versus left hand, which I never could before. Before, I heard piano music, and to me, it was just hands moving everywhere. I had no sense of what was going on. But now it connects with me. And not only that, but the last lecture, these are 9 lectures. It's 8 hours, but 9 lectures. So some of the lectures are a little bit shorter. They're like 40, 45 minutes long. But music today, the last lecture, was fantastic. He takes the last half of the lecture just to kind of like motivate you to go out there, and not just for music, but for any creative endeavor that you have, like go out there and make stuff. You have all these resources in front of you. Like, you have YouTube, you have access to an immense audience. If you put things out there honestly and you make a connection with people, you can really grow your platform. So that was inspiring to me, because I want to grow this platform with you guys. But it was awesome. He really inspired me with that last lecture. So I'll go over the lecture names as I kind of always do. I'll talk about the quizzes quickly, and then the recommended books, and then we'll wrap up for today. So the first one was Musical Horizons. The second one was Musical Evolution. The third one was Musical Parameters. The fourth was Bach's Mastery. That was the only the only lecture that was specific to one composer, was the one on Bach, which, if there's one composer to have, a dedicated lecture to, it's Bach. And then 5 was Shaping Classical Music. 6 was Romantic Transition. 7 was Redefining Music. 8 was Musical Evolution. And 9, as I mentioned, was Music Today. The peer averages for the quizzes, there was 3 of them where people were scoring below 80 on average. I didn't get below 80 on any of my quizzes, but that was like sheer dumb luck. I really struggled with some of them. I was like, damn, these are difficult questions. You really got to be taking notes for this one, I find. But 9 quizzes in total. Again, no final exams yet. And then I'll go over the recommended books, and then we'll talk about some of the new features on the Peterson Academy. So here are the recommended books for this course. If you guys have questions for any of the recommended books for any of the courses, I'll let you guys know in the comments. I'll give you guys the recommended books. I don't think that's spoiling too much. I just don't want to spoil anything that's in the actual lectures themselves. So here are the recommended books. Tone de Louvre, Music of the 20th Century. I definitely butchered that name. The Vintage Guide to Classical Music by Jan Swafford. I believe I've read some of her books before. She's a classical composer's biographer, I believe. And then John Eliot Gardner's Bach, Music in the Castle of Heaven. Now, I've heard amazing things about that Bach book. Bach book. If there was one of those 3 that I would pick up first, it would probably be the Bach book. I'm going to go try to find it at the library this weekend. But yeah, so those are the 3 books that they recommend. And then there have been a couple new features that have come out for the Peterson Academy since I last did a video. So I want to talk about those really quickly. I will be doing a 1-month video this weekend, since it's been 1 month that I've been enrolled and taking courses at the Peterson Academy, and I'll give you guys kind of my overall thoughts of how it's gone so far then. But here are a couple upcoming features. So we will be getting a mobile app, full notifications, DMs and group chats, course-specific study groups, which is awesome. I hope I can meet somebody local to myself. social post recommendations, and ability to @at members in posts. So all of those are upcoming features that are going to be released on the Academy soon. And then they fixed a couple bugs, like I said. They have course loading speed, sign-in issues, and commenting on high traffic lectures. Apparently all those things have been fixed. From what I've felt and seen, everything's running smoothly now. You know, the first couple weeks it was a little bit buggy, but now everything seems to be running very smoothly. It seems like they're really filling out that social part of the website, which is awesome. There's people commenting on there every single day, which is cool. And then we have a course coming out this Friday. There's supposed to be 3 new courses every month, so there's one coming out this Friday. It's God, the Bible, and Humanity, taught by Bishop Barron. Bishop Barron's one of my favorite, religious speakers or professors or whatever you want to call him. Bishop, I guess. But yeah, I've learned a lot from that guy. He's no Fulton Sheen. To me, Fulton Sheen's like the GOAT. But after Fulton Sheen, I've learned a lot from Bishop Barron. So I'm excited to take that course. That should be a lot of fun. But to wrap up this video today, those are kind of my thoughts on the history of Western music. I hope you guys go out there and take it. It was a lot of fun for me. I learned quite a bit. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll try to address them directly. I just don't want to spoil anything for the course. So, thank you guys, as always, for watching. It means the world to me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.